Now the media is reporting that the Trump administration is looking to replace Defence Secretary Pete Hegseth, with reports claiming that he shared classified information in a group chat with his wife, brother and lawyer. Pete Hegseth was asked about this. This was his response.
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. And on hoaxes, time and time and time again. And as they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it. See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me, because we're changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters, and anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter.
Now, the leftist media, including NPR, are saying that the Trump administration is looking to replace Pete Hegseth, but the president is backing his man. This is what he had to say earlier.
Ask the Houthis how much dysfunction there is. There's none. Pete's doing a great job. Everybody's happy with him. We have the highest recruitment numbers I think we've had in 28 years. No, he's doing a great job. It's just fake news. They just bring up stories. I guess it sounds like disgruntled employees. You know, he was put there to get rid of a lot of bad people, and that's what he's doing. So you don't always have friends when you do that.
You sack a lot of people, you create a lot of disgruntled anonymous leakers. He has a point there. It doesn't look like Pete Hegseth's job is in jeopardy there.
At least from that statement, it does not. Look, Trump is not afraid to fire people. He has done that. He's famous for that. You're fired. People called it chaos. He's also not afraid to stick by people in the wake of media onslaught or opposition onslaught like this. The example that comes to mind for me is Brett Kavanaugh, Justice Kavanaugh. In his confirmation hearing, he was under enormous pressure from everybody and their mother to pull that nomination. He did not, and I think he is tuned into what he would call witch hunts against people that are in there trying to enact his agenda and fighting back against protected interests that want them gone, and I'm sure that's playing a part. And until he sees otherwise, I think he will back his man, as you said.
I think it almost makes him increase his support for them, because he's faced that himself. He sees how unfair the media has been to him. And when the media piles on an individual, I think he gives them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, Amy Coney Barrett, maybe there should have been a bit more pressure to get rid of her, because that seems to be one of his bigger mistakes. He mentioned the recruitment numbers there. Just before you go, we are seeing record numbers wanting to join the military, record numbers wanting to join the FBI. There does seem to be a reinvigoration of those institutions under the Trump presidency.
Which is huge, and that is ultimately the metric that matters to Trump. He is there to do a job. Recruitment was a big problem with the military, from DEI and firing people for not getting vaccinated and all those things that they did. People didn't feel inspired to serve, and this is meant to be the most lethal fighting force in the history of the world. So it is up. Pete Hegseth definitely is doing a good job in that regard, and surely Trump is taking a look at that in the context of everything else, and he's going to always prioritize that, because that's ultimately what it's about for him.
Kosha Gada, thank you for your time.
Pleasure.